Welcome back, gamers. We got another quick video for you today. I kind of just wanted to summarize the big important points that we've got from the developer Q&A that Illfonic had on their Twitch and YouTube channel. And I'll be honest, it was definitely longer than I expected. The first hour seemed like it was things they had planned out to intentionally talk about no matter what, or maybe these were what they decided to talk about based on other kind of community questions that they've been getting. And really the last 20 minutes was kind of what the meat and potatoes were of like the true Q&A that we were expecting. So it was nice to get more information, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to run things down real quick just to kind of give you some details on kind of maybe what you missed, because there really was a lot of information. So for single player, there's going to be 6 chapters, and we kind of knew already that they're focused on kind of teaching you how to play Michael. It's a bit of a tutorial. The focus is on exploration, killing, some collectibles, so all sorts of good things there. There will be checkpoints to help with replayability, which I think that's big. I wouldn't expect, this to be a really long campaign, but, if we can get maybe like, I want to say each chapter hopefully is at least a half hour long. I think that's kind of, a good minimum. And yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, there's enough challenges that they implement to kind of help with that replayability to keep you coming back to do things. They did specifically state that there will be chapter specific challenges or specific kills that you need to do in the chapter to unlock your cosmetics for multiplayer. So for example, I'm sure you're going to have to kill Bob in the specific way to get the kind of the ghost sheet cosmetic. So chapters will also give you a score or rating. I'm sure that will also ultimately give you some sort of cosmetic or what have you. They also said that you can play, this is kind of a single player thing, but I would honestly lean this toward multiplayer. They did officially confirm that you can play single player matches as Michael, but they did not confirm whether or not you could play single player matches as a civilian versus an AI Michael. So I sort of doubt that's going to happen, but I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that they can get something working to make that be possible down the road. Next thing to talk about, Heroes of Haddonfield. There's 10 base game heroes with 2 additional deluxe edition characters if you buy that edition, so 12 total. The characters will all have their own unique traits and attributes, kind of like how things were in Texas Chainsaw Massacre or the Friday the 13th game, so if you have a character who specializes in repair or communication, stuff like that, strength will probably affect things, so that's kind of cool. Gives you lots of different characters to choose from till you find something you like best. There's also going to be alternate costumes and cosmetics. We kind of had a feeling this was going to be coming based on a couple characters that they kind of teased some different cosmetics. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but they officially have confirmed it. We get the Goth Mommy skin for Rachel, which is awesome. We get the super badass Spiker skin for Marcus, and we get Annie, the classic movie look, which is fantastic. So I'll be curious to see what else they give us for all the other characters. So keep your eyes out for that as they hopefully tease it as we get closer to launch. They did also confirm that things are still going to be set in the 70s, so we'll see exactly what all they can do cosmetic wise. I feel like eventually they'll probably lean into Halloween 2, but we'll see. I'm not gonna, don't want to get our hopes up too much and just hope they can, cook with what they have for now. They did also say that you can customize outfits, hair, makeup, blemishes, kind of like how you can in the Killer Clowns game. So I would expect a lot of the kind of the core customization probably to be pretty similar to that game if you're familiar with it. And of course, Michael's going to have his cosmetics as well. Still no word on if the cosmetics will cause Michael to play differently or not. I'm still hoping that that's a thing, but we'll see. Multiplayer, they really didn't get a ton of crazy information out on this. The couple big things that I thought were important to note were there will officially be an in-game friends list, and as well as crossplay will be a thing. Crossplay was a given, like that definitely was going to happen, whereas the friends list, that was a question mark. I'm very glad they're doing it because TCM's invite system was pretty garbage. And they also stated that there are no plans for cross progression. This is a bummer. I hope that they kind of backtrack on this potentially, or at least take the time to look into it depending how the game does. I know that is a big thing for most developers to do, and so I can't blame them if they don't do it, but it is still something that I would really like to see them eventually hopefully implement. And they also said they will address the queue system later. I know this was something we talked about in the last video. I was hoping they would go a little bit more into detail on this. Unfortunately, they didn't really. The only thing they said was they don't want to split up parties. Now, take that, I guess, how you will. I kind of see that as more or less confirming there will be specific role queue, because to not split up parties, which immediately means like if you're queuing in with a group of 4 people, well, you're going to be the 4 civilians. Like, they wouldn't make one of you Michael, because that is immediately splitting up the party. So that's how I interpreted that. We'll see. It definitely seems like they were a little hesitant to share that information, and who knows, maybe they're still mulling it over. I guess we'll see. I don't really know which one I would prefer. I do think that's worth a whole nother video of discussion, but that's for another day. And they also did confirm that you can play private matches with up to 5 players. This was also a given. You can have duplicate heroes, which is also fantastic. So yeah, no more fighting for whatever character you want. You can play them no matter who. Map wise, so far we only have the 3 maps: Haddonfield Heights, Haddonfield Town Center, and Orange Grove Estates, which they all are kind of laid out differently, so that's nice. Gives you a little fresh take on things. I am still hoping we get at least maybe another map or 2 prior to launch. The more the merrier, obviously. They did also say that there are plenty of randomized elements in the maps to, make it feel different each time. So obviously your item spawns are going to be different, but it also seems like there's a couple other things that help make it feel different as well. And the biggest thing to take away here is the variable weather. There's going to be rain at the very least confirmed. So that's super cool. It definitely looks like there was some mud on some of the maps that they showed. So hopefully this means, it'll kind of affect gameplay a bit. I think TCM did a really good job with the mud and the rain and how it showed you the muddy footprints. I'm hoping they bring that to Halloween. Another big thing that I really didn't expect this at all, but meta unlocks. We finally get some interesting like in-game player cards, which is kind of cool. So there's going to be some icons, some backgrounds, some titles. I think some people probably could care less about this, but I do think it's kind of neat. It helps set you apart, especially because they stated that you will have an overall profile level, a Michael level, a civilian level, and even the civilian levels were like per civilian. So, if you want to be like the #1 lorry player, well, you can do that. Or if pick whoever you want, but I think that's pretty cool. And they also stated like Michael will have weapon levels that unlocks. I don't think they really went into how that would affect things. I doubt it would really affect the durability or something of a weapon. I would expect it to be more of like how many kills you have with a kitchen knife. Maybe you get a gold kitchen knife when you get like 1,000 kills or something, who knows. But I would expect to see things a little bit more like that. They did also kind of confirm there's going to be progressive unlocks, so think of this as the more you play a character, you'll gradually just unlock more things for that specific person. And same with like challenges. There will be, I'm sure there are going to be specific challenges. Think the challenge books in the Killer Clowns game, but they also said there will be some passive overall generic challenges. So, play 20 matches of civilian, unlock, something basic for all the characters. So stuff like that. They did also state there will be some in-game currency. More details on that later. We'll see what they do with that. I am certainly curious what that will entail. I do think a lot of their core system is going to be similar to Killer Clowns, so I guess we'll see exactly how that works. And the other big thing to note is civilian perks. It's going to be an inventory system where you can roll for the perks, so I would say that they didn't go a ton into this. It's going to be most similar to how the Friday the 13th game perk system works, where you have like you have a pool and then you can just roll. It kind of keeps things casual, is what they said. I personally think it still is going to lead to not casual, because once everyone knows like thick skinned is the perk you want to run, well, everyone's going to be rolling for thick skinned at the best possible level. So we'll see. I don't know, maybe the way it's implemented will be a little bit different, and I hope it is, because personally I thought the F13 perk rolling was really annoying. I was not really a big fan of that, so we'll see. And we're reaching the end here. They talked a little bit about how Michael versus civilians would play out. They stated they took all of the PAX feedback and have changed things, which is awesome. They were watching players play, they were getting feedback in real time, which is fantastic. While there will not be a beta, I think that PAX East was definitely their in-person beta, which is fantastic. So it's nice to see that they are listening to the community and making steps to improve the game, you know, even well before it's out. Talked a little bit more about Michael's abilities. He's got the detection pulse, which is kind of like the sense in F13, where it kind of like highlights the building that a player is in. They also kind of talked about the light system, how, you know, it seems like you definitely want to be super stealthy. So I think that'll be fun. Just, you know, kind of allows for a lot more jump scares. Same with like his shape jump, his shape slip, which was a new thing they kind of talked about more. Think of that as like if you're the Reaper, you can kind of go first person, teleport to a closet, and then, you know, as long as you're in the dark, you can get out and attack the civilian. So should be good, should provide for a lot of fun jump scares. There's the blackout ability, can kill the car, lights, flashlights, and it even can close doors. There's a clip of this, which I will show here. That seems kind of insane. I know it will probably have a big cooldown, but the fact that you can just like pop your blackout to close a door in front of a civilian is pretty nutty. So I think that's going to be really strong. We'll see how they balance that, but hey, I'm all for it. And yeah, there's even more, I guess, to Michael's kit that hasn't been revolved. As far as the civilians, they still haven't talked a ton about them, except they did state that there are some mysterious civilian items in a lantern, an hourglass, and an amulet. Allegedly, these are game changers, so we'll see. I guess we'll have to learn more. And maybe they won't tell us more, and it'll just be figure it out day one, and I'm all for that too. The final thing I want to touch on is the true Q&A. Kind of less good information here than what I had hoped, but they still answered some good questions. They stated that, you know, there's not a specific roadmap planned right now, but after launch they will have they'll lay out the lay of the land. They do have post-launch content planned, so I'm sure once the game launches, you know, give it a month or two, I would expect to maybe see like a rough put together roadmap then. And yeah, I think that's good. Roadmaps are always nice. They did confirm no beta, as we stated already. They talked about future cosmetics. They want them to be things that players want. So I thought it was really odd phrasing. Like they said, we want future cosmetics to be things that players will be excited about. So I take that for what you will. I'm hoping that means things will be fun because normally players are interested in things that are fun and neat. So we'll see. Yeah, hopefully that's not just, you know, boring recolor skins, but we'll see. Inmate skin for Michael, they said that this was an interesting response. The face will still be blurred even on the in-game cosmetic. You'll never see Michael's face, and while I do think that's a good idea, I just think it's weird that they even made that skin to begin with and are gonna have the face blurred. Very, very odd to me, but I don't know. It's kind of cool, I guess. And they did also talk a little bit about the casual versus competitive. They did say, you know, casual is kind of ideally their goal. They want it to be a little more casual with the perks and everything, but, you know, there will still be some nuances for skilled players to, you know, kind of perfect their skills, which, you know, that's going to be the case in every game. And hopefully this game is balanced pretty good. I think F13 was, you know, the perfect casual game, and no game has really kind of done that since. So we'll see. Hopefully they can spark the magic here. They also talked about bully squads, which we did say in the last video they would talk about. It looks like, you know, Michael's reality tear is going to be his big get out of jail free card. He's also going to have bloodthirst over time. So I think, you know, bully squads are certainly going to be trickier to pull off in this game. You know, there's a lot of mini games involved to even detain Michael, so it seems like they are fully aware that Michael needs to be powerful, so I'm glad that they're leaning into that. They also said that, again, proximity chat will be in the game, but still no more details on that. I hope they just like come out and straight clarify the details on it, but we'll see. You know, I'm still happy that proximity chat is there no matter what. And yeah, that's pretty much the only thing, except for maybe the biggest news of the Q&A. They said freaking Michael will be able to drive cars. And, you know, I think we maybe didn't expect this. I don't know. I didn't expect it, but I am certainly happy about it. I think it's going to be super goofy. It's going to make the game even more fun. So I'm all for it. And yeah, really, that's all there is to it. Kind of a bit of a lot of information there. I debated about if I want to just like make this super quick and talk about like 3 things, but figured it'd be better just to run down some of the highlights and go from there. And yeah, what do you guys think? How do are you excited for the game still? Do some of these things give you a little head scratcher? Personally, I think there's a lot of good information here to take away, and it seems like they really are listening to community feedback. They want it to be a dang good game. They're trying to make it the best that they possibly can. And yeah, I'm excited. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.